Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are well. Before we even start talking about international trade, we maybe should talk a little bit about trade. And when we are reflecting on the term trade, generally speaking, it is usually some product or or service which someone is going to make and then they are going to trade. So how this all of this process is going to start. Just remember that whatever the product, whatever the service, whatever you are going to offer in the market for trade, it is going to start with some idea. Yeah, some idea. You will get some idea, some thought that okay, I should be doing that. So please start thinking about how to get good ideas. Where do good ideas come from? We are going to have a discussion on that shortly. So a product or service, you are going to make it. Maybe you are going to start it on a lower scale. Maybe start make some prototypes, maybe offer it to few people, maybe sampling, maybe get some feedback from other people. What do they think? How is the product or service to them? Do they like it? They don't like it? Of course, based on the pricing of that product and service, people are going to give you maybe some feedback. So maybe you would want to start on a lower scale, and then through your research and development, through your internal processes, procedures, you will see what is happening, take feedback from the customers. Over a period of time, you will hone your product, your service, whatever it is, whatever you want to offer in the trade. Even if it is yourself, you can be a product for trade also. So think about that, and then maybe you are in a little community, maybe you will distribute it on a wider level throughout your city. So you might want to think about distribution, how you are going to distribute it, how you are going to market it, how you are going to penetrate in the hearts and minds of the consumer. Yeah, how you are going to, you see a lot of interesting marketing campaigns. uh, Take any product, a biscuit, you will see all are biscuits, but every company is going to pitch it very differently. So you have to think about that, and then maybe once you are comfortable and you have the resources and you have the capabilities, capacities, you might want to spread it all over your country. So in that you will be doing all these type of things: idea creation, improving your product, marketing, financing, distribution. Maybe sometimes people will buy your product and then they will say we don't want it. Return policies. What are you going to do with your return product? If you are going to salvage them, or you are going to get rid of them, what are the protocols in your country? How you dispose of used items? For example, these laptops, we buy laptops, and then we once we want a new one, we get a new one. What happens to the old laptops, old mobile phones? Where do they go? If you think about it, from the material which they are made, generally speaking, they are not, they take time to decompose and everything. So you might want to think about sustainability. This environmental sustainability is in thing throughout the world. uh, any plastics, for example, countries are saying don't use plastic, use other type of materials. You can think about that. So you are doing all those type of things, and then you become famous in your country, you become a good brand. And don't forget that you have competition. Your competition is always trying to make a better product in terms of experience, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of costing, price, all those type of things which you can imagine. So in all of that, it is a possibility that you are going to, even one challenge, one big challenge, and you are gone. So think about, for example, the world is going through this pandemic, COVID-19. So think about a company which started with an exceptional idea, exceptional product, service, but they are a small business. They were just starting out. They are launching in the market. So what happens? This thing comes, customer buying behavior changes, different things happen, that. I don't want to repeat them. Just think about those things, what could have happened or what has been happening in your environment. And then they are gone. They were good business, competent people, smart, intelligent, financing was there, everything, but for now the idea is gone. And always remember, it is the first attempt is uh, generally speaking, it is easier to do the first attempt, because when you are doing first attempt, you are creating some type of impression on the mind of the target audience, whatever it is. They are going to judge you on that. So first impression. But once you have created a first impression, and if it is not a good one, then how you are going to re-influence them, and a whole type of psychology is involved in that now. So how you will say that, oh, I messed up, because the market dynamics are very, very unforgiving, because there is more and more competition. There is, think about it, one job in the market, and how many people attempt for that good job. How many good companies are there, and how many people they can hire, and compare it with the number of people who graduate from the universities. So there is a change between demand and supply over there. So so think about economics, think about all these type of things, and after, once you are successful in all of that, and you make a brand, and then you are going to think about international business, international trade. Yeah. So essentially speaking, you are going to do the same things which you have been doing with your small scale business, which you were able to groom it to a national level. So you are doing all those type of things, but you are just adding international with that. So for example, you are doing customer surveys. So now you're doing international customer surveys. You are doing managing finances. So now you will be looking at international financing. In that, you might want to think, what are the accounting financial requirements in different countries. You would be thinking about their government policies. You would be thinking about all sort of things. What language they speak, how the what is more attractive to them. So think about, so simple things like, the way you are pitching your product in your home country. When you are going to pitch that same product in the international market, you might have to change couple of things, or maybe a lot of things, because what is a attractive market slogan in your country, maybe that word means something else in that country. For example, you can see me. See, look at this. Yeah, so I'm giving you a sign. So what does this sign means? It has many different meanings. So yeah, different cultures would associate different meanings with this sign. Even signs like this, thumbs up. Yeah, different cultures are going to have. We might think that this is a thumbs up the way we understand it, but different cultures might look at it very differently. Yeah. So high five, for example. So different cultures would look at differently. So you have to be very mindful about these things. You can't take anything for granted, or you can't think that you know it all, because people are different even within same country. Think about any country, think about Finland, think about Germany, think about China, whatever country you are from. or you are more familiar with, even within that country you would want to reflect that there are different cultures. There is a uptown culture, people who are affluent and educated and maybe rich. They have a different sophistication. On the other hand, look at the culture of downtown. It is a different type of culture. So even within, what I'm trying to say is, even within one country, there are different cultures. So in that, when you are going into international markets, imagine how those cultures are going to change, and how you might want to change your strategy to influence them. But on the same hand, you have to keep your product or service or whatever you are offering, you want to keep it consistent also. So for example, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, these type of drinks, they must taste same. So if I like Pepsi in Jamaica, when I go to Germany or any other country in Europe or wherever, I'm going to buy Pepsi because I am familiar with the taste and I like it. So when I'm buying it, my expectation is that it is going to give me same experience, same consistency. It is going to engage me in the same way. So the product has to be same, maybe, but then it has to change because there are different cultures. Maybe these are some questions which you are going to reflect and bring across your own thoughts in our discussions going forward. So on one hand, we are saying that they need to be same in their taste. On the other hand, we are saying we need to tailor our product based on the target market. You must have heard it in your other courses all the time, and your experience would have been same. So think of those dilemmas, and then once you maybe in your region you are going to spread. So coming from Europe, you guys might want to spread in Europe first, and then see how your product is doing over there, how your service is performing over there. Then you will do a worldwide view. You would want to take what is happening across the world, which economies are emerging economy. Might want to study that, where there is maybe less competition and government policy is very lenient on your product because they want to increase that type of import in their country. So think about import, export, those type of things you might want to reflect on. So all these type of things you are thinking and analysis, and uh, then sometimes you will win some market after doing all your research, but your product or service will fail. That is going to happen. Even big companies fail. Big companies fail. Not all. Even if think about the most successful companies in the world, I don't want to name them, you can think any company and just run a Google search, a simple Google search with the name of the company which you like, an international business, and just type the markets in which it failed. You are going to find the markets. It is not possible that there is any product in the world which is equally successful in all the all the markets across the globe. It is just not possible. In some markets they are making a lot of money, in some markets they are just break even, and in some markets even the customers will reject it, and some local competition is going to become the big boss. So these are the dynamics against which we are going to reflect in in our in our in our course. Yeah. So based on this, you might want to think, oh boy, this sounds a lot. But nothing to really worry about. Just go through that important notice posted on your e-learning platform. Just follow that. If you look at the evaluations, they are pretty straightforward. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is sensitize you from as much as possible with the concept of international trade. and all of the things are not for your evaluation. In the sense, it is more for sensitization, more for maybe exchange of points, exchange of views. So if you even would look at the evaluation, the high preference is, high emphasis is on dialogue, is participation. So whatever I say, it is just my point of view. Don't get influenced by that at all. You just take the point of view and reflect on it from your own thinking, from your own perspective. And if you don't agree with something which we say in class, you can always have your own point of view. So the idea is more of a discussion. So together, no one is an authority on international trade in this room. Together we are going to try to understand what it is all about, to the best of our ability. So this is what I would say is there are so many other things, but I want to jump into some type of conversations now. So over the period of the week, we will try to see what is happening in international trade. So as I was talking, I mentioned that uh, international international trade, trade, business, anything in life, no matter what. Even if you forget about the module international trade for a moment, everything starts with some type of idea. We have to think about Facebook. What was Facebook? Now it is international business. They are making a lot of money. uh, he is easily in the richest people. Mark Zuckerberg, he is easily in the list of richest people in the world. But how did it start? Facebook. You can run some searches. I'm sure you know this already, but if you don't know, try to understand how Facebook started, and not necessarily Facebook. If you are not interested in any example which I give throughout the term, the example is not that I want you to study that example. If I want to, I will tell you specifically that you must do that. Uh, but take any example, any international business which you are fond of. Maybe it is a car company, maybe it is a tech company, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Think about it, how it started. Today it is an international business making a $1 billion or something like that. But how did it start? It started with an idea. Think about who is the richest guy in the world? Honorable Jeff Bezos. Amazon. How did Amazon start? How did Amazon start? In what environment Amazon start? What type of desk was there? What type of computer was there? Think about that. There are videos on the internet. There are pictures on the internet. You might want to look at them. Maybe a very simple, basic idea.
There was only computers like that had DOS on them, like very simple computers back then.
Yeah, great point. And feel free to stop me wherever you want to say something. I encourage that. Uh, really do. So thank you for the guy who came in and added his input in the conversation. So he's talking about DOS, basic system. So but now think about the inventory, how Amazon is managing their inventory. If you look at that, now they are free. So from DOS times, if you look back, now they are talking about, even in their inventory management, most of the things are being done by robotics, robots. Yeah. So all these things which I will be talking about, I have posted the relevant clips and readings and YouTube videos, whatever I had to say on the website, which I have on in the important notice. So in your own time, you will look at them and see what you can take from that. So see, from that time from to now, and the technology essentially has disrupted all the industries. Yeah, so exponential growth in that. So think about. So but essentially what I'm trying to ask is that idea. So we really want to understand, even we start jumping into international trade, we really want to spend some time in understanding, where do these good ideas come from? Why is it that other people are having all the good ideas, like I mentioned these two companies? And you can think about, for example, Tesla, big company, they are doing amazing things. uh, uh, Honorable Elon Musk, yeah. uh, Alibaba, yeah. You can think, look them up, Jack Ma, how that business started, what was the idea, and look at the rejection level. Because I was listening to Jack Ma's interview, Honorable Jack Ma's interviews, and he was saying that when he threw his idea to his friends and whatever he had in the early days, majority of the people discarded those ideas. But think where he has reached now. But essentially speaking, let's come back. And so I am posing a question to you guys now. So it would be best that you guys, maybe there is a button to raise hands, so you can click that. And that is not for myself, that is for you guys to be organized, so people are speaking in a line and no one feels disrespected or something. So maybe you would want to raise hands, and one by one, or if you don't want to do that, that is also fine. You can just come and start talking about it. So the question I am posing is that, where do good ideas come from? To answer that type of question, you would want to reflect in your own life. So please try to think, have you ever had any good idea in your life regarding anything? It can be your personal private life, it can be your linked with your friends, family, it can be linked with your business, work, whatever jobs you do, it can be linked with your education, it can be linked with anything, whatever it is. So the question here is that, when you got that idea, what were you doing, in what environment you were in, what was the thinking process in your head, what was going on in the environment, externally, internally, what was happening, and how did you get that idea? So collectively we have like around 70 plus people in this room right now. That is quite a big number. So if all of us can contribute to this discussion, that how did these 70 people got any good idea in that life, what was the thinking pattern, or just simply, how do they think, how can we get good ideas, what do we need to do to get good ideas? Is it discussions which bring in good ideas? Is it exchange of ideas? Is it a lot of reading? It is a lot of traveling? Is it learning from other people's experience? Is it learning from our own failures, or whatever it is? So please go ahead. The question is that, when you got any good ideas, how did you get it, what was happening, anything on creating good ideas, that is what you would want to talk about. So it is not chatting, it is verbal, so voice communication.
I
So
can, I can.
please go ahead, and in that, please ensure that when you are speaking, your mic is on, but when you are not speaking, please turn it on mute. Otherwise it will be a distortion, disturbance. So please go ahead. Yes.
Shall I start? Can you hear me, Professor, or not?
I can hear you.
Please go ahead, and you don't have to ask if we can hear you or not. Just turn on your mic. Once your mic is on, we are hearing you. Once you are done, you just turn it off. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think one of the methods is brainstorming. You come up with too many ideas, and then by the end, with high numbers of ideas, you can get to quality ideas. I mean, numbers will get you to the best ideas at the end, eventually. And one aspect, I think, that's regardless of brainstorming, I think good ideas come from hard times, crisis, catastrophic events like Corona now, something like this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, mainly good ideas result from problems, like Ash just said. When we have big problems, you try to figure out some solutions and try your best to improve the situation.
I also think I also think most of the time it'd be good to have like several people around you when you have an idea or that just mention something where you get that idea from. So it's always good to hear like different opinions.
Yeah, I would also totally agree with my classmates, but I also think that like just additionally, it also comes from like a strong vision that you have, and that is also based on your strengths and your dreams and what you're really passionate about. And then I can think you can take that and translate it into different ideas that you have, and eventually I feel like they will form a picture.
Can I share an idea, please?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think in terms of business, when you want to create a new idea, first of all, you should look at the
You
products
guys will have to speak loudly so I can clearly understand. You know, some.
Okay, when making a business idea, first of all, you should, as a customer, you should see what you consume, and as a business, you should see what you produce. First of all, when you come with new ideas to be developed on a basic products to be innovated into new ideas, then you can start sharing your ideas and taking feedbacks from friends, from employees, from partners. Then you can develop a prototype and launch a new product, maybe, and find the market for it.
I think, in my opinion, ideas always come from when you get new input. So, for example, when you travel around and see the world, you can also generate new ideas.
Very good, Jonas. One second. Let me say that please don't repeat. If someone has said something, that's fine. You don't have to repeat that. So try to build on that. So try to build on the conversation. So that is what we are trying to do. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to say that ideas come from difficult situations. For instance, if there is a problem right now, and you can just think, what can we do to solve this problem? You know, so sometimes if there is no difficult situation, we won't get the idea. So sometimes difficult situation make us to think deeply and get critical thinking to solve a problem sometimes. So that's what I would just say.
I also think sometimes you might, when you have a problem, you might think too hard about it and you just don't get any idea at all. But then afterwards, when you kind of get your thoughts off it and, you know, think about something else, do something else, it might just get to you.
I also think that if you're very inspired by something, then you think a lot
If you guys are not, when you guys are not speaking, you will have to mute your mic. That is important. Otherwise, there will be echo. Yeah. So when you speak, you turn on your mic. When you are not speaking, please turn it off. Yes. So right now, Alexander and Franz, both mics are on. Yes. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I'm to do something about it or have an idea how you can do it for yourself, or just if you're also inspired by any situation and you think, okay, how could we improve this? Yeah, then it's also again the problem solving, as the other said. And maybe just for you to know, there is a chat, and I think there are a lot of people writing in the chat. I don't know if you can see it. Okay.
Yes, please don't write in. You can write in chat, but you have to be verbal. So that is what the participation is about. You will have
Yeah,
to
I
speak
can also
whenever you want to speak.
I can also say ideas can come from dreams. So sometimes if you sleep and you can just get some idea, it happens to me sometimes. I would just because I used to write some things on Facebook. Sometimes if I'm sleeping, I would just get this idea and then I would just write it down and then I just post it online. So it comes from inspiration, dreams. Sometimes you can even be drinking or smoke something and then you get idea. So it can come from any situation. Yeah.
I also think
One second, Jana. Please don't. This thought is interesting, drinking and smoking. But just on the lighter note, we would not want to promote that. Yes, please go ahead.
I also think that it doesn't have to be a big problem, but it can also be a daily situation where you think, oh, that's something people been doing for years, and there could be a new idea for that.
Great. Yeah.
An idea also arises when you have the feeling that something is missing. So if you, yeah, like in your daily situation, you use something and then it just misses out, and then you come up with an idea somebody doesn't have yet.
Yeah, to get back to that drinking and smoking idea, like not to promote that, but I think what Josh wants to say with that, it's like as soon as you start like thinking outside the box, like as soon as you get like over and forget everything what's existing so far, you start to develop new ideas and find new solutions. So as soon as you like dream, just like he said.
But isn't it also because usually when you realize you need something, the creativity and the options that you have in front of you will pop up. As we say in Arabic, the need creates creativity. So if you realize that you need something or something is missing, immediately options and solutions will pop up, and you'll begin to analyze what's the best option for you. So, yeah.
Very good. Can you please say that in Arabic also?
In Arabic we say الحاجة أم الاختراعات أو تولد الاختراعات. This is how we say it. So the need is the mother of all creativities, because when you need something, the creativity in you, it will show up, and the solutions and what you want, the end goal will be clear to you.
Thanks for that, and I'm sure all of us are going to relate with this, because in across cultures, across languages, similar type of sentiment is there. Yes, please go ahead.
Isn't it also about like developing ideas together, not just like a single person? But if many people, as Galeb said, like strive for something specific, and they all put their ideas into like one box, then something better can develop from that.
Very good. Let's change the question a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of a twist. So what I'm asking you guys now, that give us the idea which you got, any idea which you think was very good and successful. Maybe it was not successful. It does not have to be successful. It was a good idea, you executed it, and maybe it did not work. So either way, good idea or bad idea, what I'm trying to ask, if you can give example of the idea, what exactly the idea you got and what you are doing, if you can go through that idea and the dynamics of that. So good conversation so far. For that, we have a general understanding of how these ideas come from, but I'm asking for some tangible, concrete examples of your ideas and how did you got them, and if you can take us through that, please go ahead.
So, for example, during my internship, I worked at the HR Personal Development Department, but not a lot of people used like the training sessions or the online sessions which we offered. So I had the idea to write a monthly newsletter to everyone in the company, so that they had the opportunity to just go on a link and to join lectures or trainings, and it was really efficient.
Wow, wow, what a beautiful, mind-blowing idea that is. Imagine that imagine that the people who were not able to come to the training for some reason, when Anna sent them the email or whatever, how thankful they would be. Don't you think that she's going to get noticed? Don't you think that if there are some opportunities, the people around her going to give her a chance or something like that? And I'm assuming that she was not paid for that, or she did not have to do that, but just out of her concern or whatever. These are even for her. Those were the notes when she write it down. When you write down something, it goes deep in your mind also. So think about that. What a wonderful, and think how simple it is. It is simple. Maybe I should not say simple, because Anna would know that how much time it takes to write down everything, or maybe the main points. It is still an effort, but the people who miss the training, they are going to definitely love it. A wonderful, lovely example. Yes, but the idea here is that how did you get that idea, Anna? What did influence you to do that? What was the motivation? Yes, great idea, but why did you do that? If you can, if Anna can tell us, but if she's gone, no. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So I saw like all the effort that my colleagues put into the trainings and what money we paid to all the external trainers, for example. And we always had to cancel a lot of training sessions because we had not enough participants. So yes, I think that was my motivation to change something, because I saw people are interested, but they were not aware that we have so many different training opportunities to offer.
Yes, so, amazing. Did anyone pay you for that in terms of financial some reward, or someone asked you to do that, or it was just your?
No. I did not get paid.
What a lovely person that is. Yeah, amazing. So yes, so imagine that you guys don't have to attend the session. As long as Anna is there, she's going to send you all the notes, whatever you missed. Yes, please go ahead. Next one.
So I work for an exchange organization in my free time, and we have seminars with students that want to go abroad. And that usually happens like on some premises, but this year it had to happen online because of Corona, and they don't know each other, and it's like a big group of like 40 people, and we wanted them to get to know each other. So we had to think of a way to do that digitally. So we invented like a little speed dating thing where we put them in little breakout groups of 2 people for like only 2 or 3 minutes. And we had a question, and they could discuss the question, like, for example, like, what is your favorite superhero, or what is your favorite movie, or whatever. And that way we really got the group spirit going. And then later on, we also had interactive activities with them via like Menti or Kahoot, and that worked out really great.
And what was the motivation, Teresa, for doing this?
Well, because we really wanted them to build up a network, because they're all in the same situation, and if they have problems abroad, they can, help each other, and they can be there for each other, and it also makes the seminar much more interactive and lively, and yeah, that's why we did that.
Okay, yes, go ahead, please. Next one.
So when I was back in Singapore during my semester abroad, we realized that a lot of people in the tram are occupying seats for disabled people. So we came up with the idea to invent a light that's functioning with the card and interacting. So when a disabled person is entering the tram, the light will go on, and people stop occupying the seats for disabled persons. That was some of a business idea in our entrepreneurship course.
You have lived there, Benedict, for how long?
6 months.
Very good. So let me ask you, Benedict, that you have been to Singapore, you lived there 6 months. Very good. Singapore is known to be one of the most developed countries in the world. And so, what did you observe personally speaking? What has been your experience? Why they are like that? What is the idea going in their head that Singaporeans need to be one of the best? What is going on? What is the internal psyche? What is going on in their head in terms of ideas and idea creation and their dedication, motivation? What is going on? Yes, please go ahead.
I think they grow up already really challenging others. So everything's really competitive. And I mean, when you grow up competitive already in school and kindergarten, you always have that mindset that you really want to earn a lot of money, you want to have your own business. And of course, living in Singapore is very expensive, and all of them know that. So everyone is really trying hard to keep up that life standard and to be able to afford living in Singapore. And I think through that competition, people are really, they get forced to develop further, to develop new ideas, and therefore they are really successful as well. And they are really international, of course.
Great discussion, Benedict. So, yes, of course, they are. That is a wonderful country. Nothing against Singapore or Singaporean. We are just trying to understand the situation there. So, yes, they are very advanced and all those type of good things which we know. But what is the cost of that? People who live there, as you are saying, they are hardworking and competitive and competition and all those type of things. How are they influenced by all of that in terms of personal relationships, lifestyles? Anything you can say on that, please? Yes, Benedict.
I would say they have a high living standard, and most of the time they will show it, and they will tell you what expensive things they've bought again. And of course, people who don't have money, they will ultimately will left behind, and most of them move to Malaysia or something because it's then cheaper to live there. So a lot of people stay behind and are left behind as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right. Yes, thanks. Yeah, next one, please. Go ahead. So what I'm trying to ask is, you are going to give some example of an idea which you got, personally speaking. How did you get it? What was going on in your life which motivated you to get that idea? And what happened afterwards? It was success, it was not success. Anything on those lines, if you can say, please go ahead.
So I'm having this idea every time I drive with a bus, because I live in a very rural area. So the bus I'm driving is always passing like 5 different stations, and 3 of them no one is entering, like 99% of the time. So I thought about an app or a button at the station, so the bus driver gets a signal when people want to drive, and if not, he can just leave out the village, because it's very time consuming and also not sustainable.
Very interesting. Thanks for that. 2 other people have raised their hands. Please go ahead, and then we will move on to next thing.
I might go ahead. So the idea that I had is just a recent idea that I just had. So I just recently moved to a new apartment, and there the kitchen is like very, very small. So everything's kind of on the table where we eat. So we needed to, like, buy a shelf or something, which we didn't have. And we were thinking about it, where could we get it? Where could we get it cheap? Because we're students, we don't have that much money. Yeah, so I just looked back into my room, and there was this very big closet in there, and there are like small shelves in there. So I just removed a shelf from the closet and just kind of pinned it to the wall. I know it's not like very very, it isn't like the other examples that people just gave, but I think it proves a point that sometimes the best ideas can just be so simple.
Yes.
And just yeah. So I think I did that out of need, so that proves another theory that we had before. So yeah, and now, well, the things are standing on the shelf and we have more space on the table, so that's pretty good, I think. But yeah, it happened to me just recently, so that's why I thought I'd just bring it up.
Yes, very good, excellent. Exactly. Think about it. Many of the ideas you guys are mentioning, they are not rocket science or something like that. You are not going into flying a shuttle into space. Nothing like that. They're simple ideas. And the thing our friend mentioned about pricing. Yes, of course, it's nothing to do with student. It is how the international trade is happens. You look for the product and service you want, and then you want to pay the less as less possible for you to pay and acquire the product, acquire the service. So that are the dynamics of international trade also. Yes, a couple of people have raised their hands. Please go ahead and we will move on to next thing. Yes, please go ahead.
I also got the idea while Bianca told her idea, because in the current situation with Corona, people weren't allowed to meet in person, but they wanted to talk to each other, maybe drink wine with each other. So they took like Zoom or Skype, which you're now using for business meetings and university meetings, and just were doing their social meetings via this platform. I think now it's really common to do it like this.
Yes, please go ahead. If someone has to speak, please go ahead quickly.
I'm working as a working student besides my student life, and when we got back to the office, I thought about the different behaviors of the different people in the company and how they have different preferences to interact with each other in terms of keeping distance and talking to each other and being like physical in the sense of like shaking hands. And I had the idea to maybe have like bracelets for the employees, especially for maybe bigger companies. It would be great if you have different bracelets of different colors in order to see who's fine with being interactive and talking and maybe shaking hands.
Amazing.
And who prefers to not do that.
Amazing. I am so jealous, Sophia, that why I did not get that idea. Maybe many countries are doing it, maybe many people are doing it, but because I don't read on coronavirus a lot, I do other things. So I was not aware that this is, if someone is doing it or something like that, or it is your original idea. But whatever it is, really interesting idea. This is really interesting because I can really relate with that. Like, for example, for me, I have no problem. Like, if someone wants to shake hand or something, I'm okay, as long as they are looking physically, they're looking decent and in a hygienic condition. So I could wear that brand, that I'm okay. If you are okay with that, I'm okay. So Sophia, I think you need to give me one of the bracelets. Yes. Any other thoughts on this? And then I want to move on.
We could also use this for dating purposes. The bracelet thing.
For which, Dean, please speak louder. For which purposes?
Yeah, you could also use the same principle with the bracelets for dating purposes. Like someone who's like open for talks has a red bracelet, and someone who's like no, it's like, I don't know, green or whatever.
Okay, interesting. So everyone, I think Dean is interested in dating, so maybe send him a message if you are interested or something like that. Yes. So So next question, this is very important question now. I think this is more important than the last ones because we are building on something. So here is the question. Please participate in this discussion. But before participating, you would have to reflect on it a little bit. So the question is that I'm asking you guys, do you like it when bad things happen with you? When people say bad things,
So the question is if we like it, if people are bad to us.
when bad things happen with you, when things don't go the way you wanted them to go, when people reject you, when you face failures, when you do something and you are not successful, when you share some idea with some friends, with your family, and they say, well, this is not going to work out, when you want to do something and rejection and all those type of things, bad, negative, all those type of things happen with you. What do you feel? What do you go through? Please reflect on this and share your ideas. Try to remember some negative thing which happened with you, and what did you feel? You felt low, you felt rejected, bad. Please take us through. Please go ahead.
Of course, like first place, you're not very pleased about the situation, but in the end, you learn from it. Like you gain from it. If I hadn't failed, I wouldn't have been there where I am now.
I think that's
So, like,
a good idea.
Like regarding my internship, like I had some issues with my supervisor, and if she wouldn't have been so hard with me, in the end, I wouldn't be as good as I was.
So that is that the general trend in your life? So whenever people do bad things with you, you enjoy it and you take excitement in that. So
No, not in the first place. In the first place, of course, I'm sad, and there's like different stages, and then there's a phase where you accept it, and then there's the next phase when you say like, okay, I'm gonna see something positive in it.
Okay, got
So
you,
like
got you.
different
Yes,
phases.
please go ahead. Next one.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
happen
mean,
in one moment.
Yeah, sorry. Please let him complete. He want to complete some. Sorry. Please go ahead.
Me? I'm done.
Next one, please.
yeah, okay. I mean, rejection always goes hand in hand with reflection as well. So you have to think about why did the person reject you in the first place? Like, are the arguments that this person brings forth valid? Are they real, or are they, not valid? So you have to weigh the options and think about whether the rejection was justified or if it wasn't, and then you keep going or you stop and think about what can I do better.
I think those are some good points that the guys are bringing up. I'm also that opinion, but I also think that a good reflection on critics, or that you start thinking positive about it, like I can improve myself. I think you got to learn how to do that first. I think, you got to learn that process kind of. Not everybody, thinks that way or has it, but it's always good to do that. So you gotta, get some tactics or strategics or something to really be able to do it in a correct way.
Thanks for that, Bianca. So that the points which you guys have made so far, let me understand it. So in case you guys, let's say you will not, I'm sure you will not, but let's assume that you fail this course, you fail the course of international trade. How would you feel? You would be okay with that? Like you say, all right, let me see what happened wrong. And so generally speaking, I'm trying to ask that in your life when bad things happen, how do you react? What is your first reaction? What happens? And if you can take us through. Yes, please go ahead.
Personally, I would try to think of how bad it really is for me. So if it will affect me significantly, affect my grades significantly or not, is there a plan B? If I can, the ways maybe redo the course, or anything I can do just to change what just happened. So basically I'll just think of alternatives and other solutions immediately. And then if I can't find any, well, I'll just try to deal with it mentally and just make myself feel better in some way.
I think personally I would follow Joshua's recommendation about the drink thing. That might help sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like
I will say, okay, I will say if I fail a course, or if I fail this course, what I'm gonna do is I'll first think of what did I did wrong, and I will try to improve myself. You understand? So in case I have the chance to do it again, and I will not make the same mistake. So that's what I would just say.
Yeah, I also think that reflection is a very important part of that process, but I also think that you shouldn't let it get you down if you fail, because I feel like all the successful business people, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they failed so many times, but they always stood up, they always tried again. They had so many people who told them that they would fail, that their ideas aren't good enough, but they knew, they stuck to their vision and they stuck to their belief in themselves. And I think that's what made them so successful.
Very interesting. Let me ask you a question. I enjoyed listening to this point. So can you, from your life, from your experience, can you tell us any point where you were failed and you let it keep you down, and so you can be successful again? Can you? So this is an interesting example, but can you substantiate it with some situation which you faced? Any situation, please go ahead.
I don't. Would be really personal, so I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. No problem. No problem. Yes, next one. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. I personally believe regarding those topics of if I didn't pass certain thing or succeed, I personally believe that deep inside each one of us knows if he or she did his best or her best. So if I didn't do my best, then it's my fault. I no need to satisfy myself or something. No, I didn't do my best. I failed because I didn't do my best. So deep inside, every one of us knows if he or she did their best. So if I did my best and it didn't happen of what I want, so I will just deal with it.
Yeah. Very interesting. Let me twitch the question for discussion a little bit. Can you guys think about some of the ways which we should take when we fail, when we are going through bad times, adversity, failures? What should we do? And with that, can you give some personal example from your work, from your personal private life or work or whatever, any example from life, that how did you deal with the situation? So some theory and then some practical example that is going to help us to manage the difficult times. In other words, what worked for you? If you can share some of the best practices which help you come out of a dark phase, it will be beneficial for all of us in terms of idea creation and those type of things. Because when we are going to try different ideas, most of the times we might fail. So how to go through that dynamics, if people can talk about that? Yes, please go ahead.
So first of all, I think the most important thing is that you get some distance to the situation, and so you distance yourself. I can give an example. So when I graduated from school, I definitely wanted to study sports, but 2 weeks before I broke my shoulder, so I couldn't study sports anymore. So I decided, okay, I don't know what to do now, so I take a break and go abroad and come back after 6 months, and then I will decide how I go forward. I think this is always a good thing. First, you have to get your emotion out, get distance to the situation, and then evaluate what's the best thing to go forward.
Thank you very much for this example. Very, very profound. If you think about that, this is a think about it and think about, this is a tragedy. You want to do something and then something happens and you can't do it because of a shoulder or something like that, and now you have to bring yourself together and see he's doing well in his studies now, and he's planned for travel and other things. There are always other things. So keeping an eye on some positive. But again, it is easy to say it in the discussion. In the discussion, it is difficult to really do these type of things. But remember that our friend just did it. He gave us a personal example where he successfully was able to implement this thing. Big up to you. Yes, next one, please.
It doesn't help you to look back and be sad. The show must go on because shit happens. Like an example, I'm playing football and we were almost relegated that one season. We were pretty bad, but then we worked on each other. The whole team worked together. We worked harder, even more, and the next season we won the championship. And that's how things are going. You got to work on yourself.
I can also share a personal experience. I guess people would love to hear it. I was always passionate for sports and football. I had a lot of injuries, risky, serious injuries. So I was mentally broke down, and I was too attached to the idea that I only want this thing in my life. But then I realized something, that to attach myself towards certain things that I'm not able to do because of things that out of my control, it won't benefit me. So if you're not capable to do something that's out of your control, you should just deal with it, detach yourself, and find some other things that you may love or passionate to do in your life.
Excellent. Next one, please.
I just want to comment on what Saadi said. For me, I would also like to look at alternatives when something doesn't work. But while talking to some people about these topics, some told me that in order for your plan A to work is to not have a plan B. So you literally give your all for this plan, and just keep on working on it till it works. So not having a plan B is how plan A succeeds. This is another way to look at what you want.
Yeah, I agree with Galib, but in certain topics that, as I said, when it's out of your control and you literally can't do anything towards it, no need to attach yourself. You just have to detach yourself and look for alternatives, other passionate things you may love.
Yes, and I also want to add that it's important that you reflect on situations or results that went well, so you can motivate yourself again.
I had a difficult emotional time, and I came across the book where there were similar problems, and this helped me a lot.
I think also speaking to family members or friends, when they say, okay, I believe in you and you can do it. Like during my internship, I also got a lot of criticism, and then of course I felt down and was not really encouraged to do it anymore. And then my family said, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's your first work experience. But we know that you're gonna get up again and you can do it, and that really helped me a lot. And so I kind of pulled me out with their help, through their words I started believing again, and I started to motivating myself again. So I got up on my knees, and then it worked out again.
Very, very interesting pointers so far. So think about these things, because when you are in international trade, international market, other countries, you are trying to sell your products, services, whatever you are trying to do. Try to link it with the earlier part of the discussion where it was not a discussion where I was speaking. So try to reflect on that. So many times you are going to fail. So you need to really understand, not just for international trade, but also in general life, you really want to understand that when things will not go the way you want them to go, when you are going to fail, how you are going to take rejections, how you are going to take failures. That is very important. And these pointers which our friends have given so far, they are exceptional pointers. Some friends are talking about having some distance from the situation. Some friends are talking about only having plan A. There is no plan B. This reminds me of a story which is a historical story, and you know that English medium, burn your boats behind, burn your boats behind. That comes from a real story. There was some soldier, some emperor who went to fight his enemies. His people were less in number, enemy was high in number, the morale of his force was very low. They were going on boats. Once they reach the enemy, he asked his men to burn the boats. He said, burn the boats. So his people said, why should we burn the boats? Because we might lose and we might have to go back. So the commander said, we can lose if we want, but we are not going back. So either we will win or we will die. That is it. And then they burned their boats. And guess what? What happened? Although they were less in number and the enemy was very strong, they won the war because they had burned their boats behind. But again, there was a counter argument by other friend who said that maybe this will not work in every situation. So of course we need to take care of so many things, but this is just an idea that there should be just plan A. You focus wholly on it. But then there is a contradiction in that also, because they say that never put all of your eggs in one basket. In some of the subjects, for example, finance, international finance, for example, or even national finance, there is a concept of diversification of portfolio. When you do investments, the people who have done CFA and those type of studies, they advise you that you need to invest in different types of stocks, in different types of markets and sectors and so on. So if the price of one goes up, you are okay, but if the price goes down, you have other areas to fall on. So you have to think about all these type of things. Another friend mentioned the support from family, friends, loved ones, no matter what type of support you can gather, because that can help you. So again, we are continuing this discussion, but please give personal, real experiences that, okay, this is the adversity which came, which I experienced, and this is how I dealt with it. If you dealt it nicely, that is also useful. If you are not able to deal with the situation, nothing is wrong in sharing that also, because there can be something and you said, well, I could not deal with it, and I just backed up. So please go ahead.
Okay, so maybe like one situation, like when you're like really simple thinking, like cooking or baking or something like this, and it then, well, you put it out of the oven and it looks really awful, it won't be tasty at all, and then you're like a little disappointed because maybe you invited friends or something like this. Well, then you don't really know what to do. So, well, you need some alternatives if things are not going the way that you planned. And then maybe for the next time, maybe you look for some help, or you're looking for a tutorial or for somebody who could support you. So I think like, well, definitely you need some support, but you should like do it again because maybe the next time it will work.
Yeah, I have a similar. When I was in my internship and my boss asked me to find a solution for a problem, and then I started working on it, and every time I came to her and showed my results, she wasn't really happy about what I showed her. But every time she like rejected me or said what is not good, I could manage that and improve it. And in the end, I was able to give the final results, which she was pleased with. So I think important thing was for me to every time ask her about how she's liking my work so far, and by that in the end I can also make sure that she is like happy with it. So I think it's a continuous process. Like you can't go like from 0 to 100 straight. No success like Alibaba, for example, they also probably failed at some point, got a step back, and then they improved and get back on the track.
Not probably. You can just run. You guys can run a quick search, the failures of Alibaba, and see what comes up. I mean, in many times they have failed. So this is excellent point that there is. You try, you do the thing, you learn from your mistakes. Next time you don't give up. You try to improve it a little bit. Just like that baking example our friend gave. Over a period of time, you just keep on improving. The idea is not to give up and just continue improving it. So eventually it will reach at a point, if you are lucky and other things are working for you, you will reach at a point where you will be able to trade your product or service in the international market and so on. But many times, people will give up along the way, and they will say, well, it is not worth it. That is also fine. But what we are trying to say is that it's a step by step. Over a period of time, you can maybe do it if you are consistent and so on. But again, very easy to say it in the discussion format. That is why I'm asking for some tangible examples where you literally did it or was not able to do it. Either way, it is fine. Yes, please go ahead.
I think in the context of Ike, it's also important to ask for detailed feedback so you know what exactly you did wrong, and not just that's not good enough, but to ask what especially she wants to improve.
Do you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Sometimes also, for example, like I worked in a boutique, and I had a director, and she was very aggressive and tried to piss me off and offend us and all that stuff. But in that case, I understood that I could do my best, and I won't look on her opinion and listen to her. I would not do it. And in the end of the month, I had the best sales, and I was the best worker of it. So, sometimes even bad opinion could help you, not only good.
I see a lot of raised hands. If you are not going to speak, please lower your hand. If you are going to speak, just turn on your mic and please go ahead. But please lower your hand if you are not going to speak, so I know what is happening, and then I can move on to the next topic. Yes, go ahead. Okay, yes. So please reflect on what we have been trying to talk about so far. So where do good ideas come from? Of course, having a good idea is very important. Generally in life, the better the idea, the better the prospects can be, provided other situations are favorable, specifically in international trade, because you are going to go in international markets. You need to have very good ideas and very well planned execution styles and so on if you want to be really successful. So for that reason, we wanted to have a little discussion on how do we get good ideas. Where do good ideas come from? Couple of things I want to mention, like you guys mentioned. Some friends said that good ideas come from adversity, from bad times, from hard times, from failures, from rejections. So on the other hand, generally speaking, when bad things happen to us, we complain. Generally speaking, we don't like it. But on the other hand, if you want to have good ideas, you want bad things to happen with you only, because what happens is that when bad things happen with you, your mind start working more. Otherwise you are relaxed. So think about it. If you are born in a rich family and parents have everything to offer, they have companies, and once you come out of your college or university, they are going to give you a job and you will be a director and you have your house and cars and whatever that life offers. Generally speaking, it is a chance, not always, but generally speaking, why would you want to work hard? Because you will say you might, but generally speaking, across the world, when the parents are very successful, the children are generally speaking not as successful. You can think about in any field, not just business, international trade. Think about superstar, actors, actresses, musicians, you name it. Are their children as good a singer as their parents? Maybe sometimes, but generally speaking, no. Why is that? The reason is because they had an easy life. Generally speaking, think about the prime ministers, presidents, and those type of people. Think about the Mark Zuckerberg's child, son or daughter. Are they going to be as successful as Mark Zuckerberg? Or what about the other people? Yeah, anyone? Yeah, maybe not. Why is that? Because easy life. On the other hand, when we are born in a poor family where resources are short and all those type of things, our mind start working more because we want to be successful. Try to link it with the example our friend gave about Singapore. Try to link it with the other example which our friend gave about creating space on the kitchen counter. What were the situations which made her think like that, and she was able to come up with some idea and so on. So what I'm trying to say is that when bad things happen in your life, or when they will, I totally understand it is very easy to say, but look, we have established that. You guys told us that bad ideas come from, good ideas come from adversity. So we want to have good ideas. So a little adversity here and there, don't get disappointed by that. Try to use these techniques which our friends mentioned, and I'm sure there are many people who have interesting ideas, but maybe they are shy to speak because it is our first session, but maybe they will pick up in the future. So don't take adversity as a bad thing. When you are using public transportation, when you wanted to buy a car, and if you don't have a car, nothing to really worry about. The idea is not to get dissatisfied. Just have your goal and work on them. Try to do your best, and at the end of the day, if you don't get a car, well, you don't get it. We can't do anything about it. The idea is that you give your best shot, with the best effort, and see what the result come up. Try to link it with another example which our friend gave, who works in a boutique. Her supervisor is a little bit strict. We don't want to judge the supervisor because maybe that is her experience, maybe that is supervisor's experience, maybe supervisor is more successful in dealing with the workers when he is talking like that. But see what our friend did. She said what she could, and then she just kept quiet, and she just worked hard and hard and hard, and at the end of the day, who was the salesperson for the month or for the week or whatever the duration? It was her. So she just gave her best, and results are, we can't manage results. I can do what I can do. I cannot do anything more. Anything can happen. Just a while ago, did you see that the internet got disrupted and I was kicked out? No problem, nothing to worry about. I can always come back, and we can pick up from the discussion. So things are going to happen. You just have to keep positive about it. So that is the difference between a person who is going to create, manifest their ideas, and the person who would not be able to. Again, I am totally aware of this, that it is very easy to say all these things, because imagine when the supervisor of the boutique was saying bad things to our friend, she was not happy about it. She maybe she went to work in a very good mood, but the supervisor said something and it spoiled her couple of hours or day or whatever, you know. But she just focused on the work. So at the end she got the reward. What if she could walk away from the job? She could have said, let me find another job. But in the next job, we don't know what problems she might face. Maybe there are some other type of problems. Maybe the supervisor is nice, but there are other different type of problems. Maybe some colleagues are not nice or something like that. So problems are going to be there, especially in the context of international trade, international business management. Many problems are going to be there. It is how tough you are, and you need to think about that. And adversity, you need to think about that. Another pointer which I want to remind you of, I really loved that point in the earlier part of the discussion. One of the friends mentioned high number of idea, increased number of idea, a lot of ideas. Yeah. So maybe he was saying that try to work on a lot of ideas and then see what works and what. Think about these international businesses. Think about Coca-Cola or any company of your choice. I'm just picking up a random one. So is it the case that any product which is launched by Coca-Cola or the company of your choice, is it the case where every product they launch, every service they launch, it becomes successful? Is it that case? No, it is not that case. Even companies like Coca-Cola and even companies like Apple, even companies like Samsung. You guys remember what happened to Samsung Fold? That phone which came, Samsung Fold. Something happened to that phone, and the screen problems. And before that, do you remember that the phone was exploding and those type of things? So how big is Samsung? Samsung is very big. How successful they are? They are very successful company. If we do a poll, many of you would be owning some type of Samsung product, either a phone or some equipment in your house or whatever you would be, or laptop or something like that. But these things happen. So what I'm trying to say, every product or every service which these international successful businesses launch, they are not successful. If that were the case, then they would just start making everything, and they say, well, we do everything. No, that is not possible. Yeah. So failures are going to be there. So try to link it with the pointer one of our friends mentioned, is high number of ideas. Dream. Someone mentioned dream. That is very interesting. Someone mentioned passion. Yeah. That is critical to be successful, generally in life, specifically in international, because many hardships are going to come. Many things are going to go against you internally from within your company, and externally, external environment, government policies, competition, changing behavior of consumer, all of those things are going to happen. How will you pick up yourself when you will be rejected, when you will fail? How will you pick up yourself? Some of the friends mentioned couple of ideas. One thing which is going to help you pick up yourself when things are not good, that one thing is your passion, is your idea of that dream, your desire, your heartfelt desire, you can't sleep, you are always thinking about that, you are just consumed in the thought, your involvement, your motivation to achieve it. If you have that type of passion, energy, commitment, then when bad things will happen, you will be able to pick yourself, because your passion is too high. You are very passionate about the job, or about the product or service, about whatever you are trying to do in international trade. You are so much committed. So passion, your dream, you just want to make it. You are not doing it for money. You are not doing it to get some praise. You are not doing it to become successful. You are doing it because you love it. You enjoy it. You are doing something for the sake of it. Yes, you will be paid. It is not that you will, if you are working in a boutique, they will pay you. If you are working in a coffee shop, yeah, they will pay you. Yeah, whatever you are doing, whatever different jobs. But yes, you need pay to run whatever you want to run, but that is not the main thing. That will come. People will know you. That will come. Those things are a byproduct. They will come. They will happen. But more of the nature is that you really want to do it. You are passionate about it's your dream type of thing. Link it with that. So if you have that, so if that is the case, then it is very important to really find out what you are passionate about. Again, it takes time, and that is a little bit of a different topic. We want to focus on international trade. So what I'm trying to say, that in international trade, if you are really passionate about the product, service, and you want to get successful in the next country and then the next country, and you really need to be sold with that idea of the product. You really need to be sold. So think about that. Some friend mentioned vision. You need to, of course, look at your strengths. Another term which was very clever point, I think. One of our friends mentioned that sometimes she's thinking about the idea, so it will not come at that time, but then when she starts doing something else, that idea comes up. That happens with all of us. You must have seen it, that you are trying to recall something. You know it, but you are trying to recall it, but can't remember. And then you try your best, you try hard to recall it, but you can't. And then you start doing something else, and then you can recall it. Suddenly it comes to your mind. It can be anything. Yeah. So that type of thing you want to think about it. Another friend mentioned the pandemic, COVID-19, coronavirus. Yes, it is bad. We know all the bad things it is doing. But he mentioned that there are many opportunities in the adversity. So you must have seen many businesses are creating this COVID-19 into an opportunity. Many businesses which were doing something else, but they had the assembly line, they had the equipment, and they had some type of understanding of the business. They were maybe doing some other thing, and then they started making, building or manufacturing ventilators. They started manufacturing the clothing, the mask, the gear, other type of things which are related. You can just run a simple Google search on this, and you will read a lot of stories. Companies which started manufacturing pandemic related things, which of course in high demand. They were not doing it before. Many companies are. You can look up, for example, GM. They are doing some things on that. Yeah. Travel. Someone mentioned travel, exposure. Those type of things you can think about that. Yes, idea. So I think we have some sense of where do good ideas come from, and we maybe have some sense of how to maybe create good ideas. Is there anything which you guys think we have not mentioned? If there is anything, this is good time to maybe talk about that. Is there anything which you think is important, but maybe I was not able to mention it in terms of idea creation, how to make the idea successful? Anything on that, if someone can say, please go ahead.
Yes, I would actually like to comment on you mentioning that good ideas coming from adversive times. Now, I have a bit of a different opinion on that, because I think you get especially good ideas when you're relaxed and you just can like your mind go free, and also when you're bored. And for example, I'm a very creative person. I paint and I play instruments. So whenever I just be creative and not give myself any pressure, that's when I get really good ideas. And when I'm going through a stressful time, for example, I think everything's way too much stress, and then it's really hard to be creative. So I'm trying to put myself in situations where I can be creative and calm down, and I think that's when you get good ideas.
Excellent point. Thanks very much for bringing that into the discussion. I think we were missing this type of commentary. So now think about this. Now the situation has become very complex once we add this type of commentary. So we have been trying to discuss where do good ideas come from, what can we do, and stuff like that. And then we had all of the discussion for last 1 hour or so, and then our friend comes in and she says, wait, when I get good ideas, it is not these type of things. It is when I get relaxed, when I am comfortable, even when I am bored. When I am bored, I get good ideas. So imagine that how you are going to create a culture of an international company where you have hired people from all over the globe. Now everyone is going to get new ideas in a different way. So maybe for you, when someone is getting bored, you think that they are not interested in the job. But wait, our friend is saying that she gets good ideas when she's bored. So you need to bore her at work to get good ideas. Some friend might say, I have to be active. Only then I get good ideas. Other friend, she's saying when she's relaxed, she get good ideas. Beautiful point. Exceptional point. Yeah. Think about this. In an international business, in international trade, when you are maybe international trade manager in X country, and your parent company, your headquarters is in Germany, and you create the next business in some other country, you go there, you hire people from different areas, and then you need to be mindful of this, that people are not necessarily get good ideas the way you get good ideas, or the way I get good ideas. Everyone is different. So you might want to give them some type of autonomy, some type of freedom of work, so they can do what they want to do. So now think about the culture of organizational culture of a successful company. So for example, think about Amazon. Amazon is very successful company. Just run some Google searches. What is the working culture of Amazon? What is the working culture? How are the sitting arrangements? Do they sit in cubicles? What type of environment is created at work? Do they have some game rooms? Do they have some areas where people can just go and sleep? Nothing is wrong in sleeping at work. Some companies say that. So you go to work at 8, By noon, you have worked hard. If you are tired, go and take a nap of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and wake up and come back and you are rejuvenated. You are more interested in working, more focused. Yes, you slept for or took a nap for 1 hour, but some companies say that is fine. On the other hand, there can be some person who is not even allowing you a break of more than 5, 10, 15 minutes, and they are on your head. So think about this. It's quite broad. We can't like this. It's not black and white. We really have to think. So thanks for this point. So when you are going to go on the website, there are links for postings and so on.
Can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead, Benedict. Go ahead.
Because I feel like we tapped into it, but we didn't mention it properly. Because I think the idea is important, but I think the execution is very crucial. So how willing you are to follow your idea, and also at what time do you have the idea? Because, for example, when we look at Steve Jobs, it's very famous. He had the exact same idea like 15 years earlier, and it was just the wrong timing. He got fired, then he came back and implemented the same idea. So timing is very important, and I think execution is like one of the biggest portions to really build a successful business, because you have to be willing to deal with setbacks and you have to execute it in the right way.
Excellent point, and thanks for that. Let me add to this. The timing is extremely important. There is no doubt in that. You can look around and many times you will see that the product or service was very good, but at the time when it was launched, it was not successful. I think you guys should do some search on that the products which were very good but they were launched in the wrong time, and then when they were relaunched in the right time, they became successful. I can give you maybe one. All of us know about selfie. We take selfies from our phones. Selfies. So you must be aware of selfie sticks. The stick on which you take your selfie. So if you run a Google search quickly and just try to find out, just Google search selfie stick, and maybe on Wikipedia page, just read the history of selfie stick. When you get time, you can do that. You can do it even now if it is possible for you. I can't recall, but many years ago this was invented. Someone invented this stick many years ago, but at that time that was not the right timing. At that time, people if someone were taking their own picture, people would think they are mad. Who takes their own pictures? Unless it is for passport or something like that. You take pictures because you want maybe other people with you. So there are a lot of people and at least 2 people, and then you take picture. That was the concept years ago, but now people take selfies. So selfie stick was not successful in the early days. Years ago when it was launched, you can run the search. If someone can run the search quickly, they can tell us what was the year in which it was launched initially, and then again when it was relaunched, different people took credit of it, but it was totally different people who really came up with this idea. Moving along, the website has so many.
The first invention was in the 80s already.
Thank you very much. So thanks, Benedict. So he is confirming that the first invention of selfie stick was somewhere in 1980s. 1980s, 40 years ago. 40 years ago. And the person who created it, no one knows about him now. Yes. So this is very interesting. Good idea, a good product service, but the timing is wrong. Timing is extremely important. We cannot overemphasize that aspect. So thanks for that. But I'm sure there are so many products. We don't want to spend our valuable time on that. You just need to do some research on that and find out what we are trying to say. So when you will go on the on the website. Look into these type of videos. I'm not going to play the videos and those type of things in our sessions. It is more of discussion and conversations, and that is what I'm trying to do. But of course, it is good that you are looking at those videos in your own time and trying to maybe read ahead and trying to understand what are the next things which we would be looking at. For example, this company, EY, one of the big 4 companies, accounting firms in the world. I think they are EY, PwC, Deloitte, and KPMG. These are the big 4 across the world. Big international businesses. So EY, our questions make the world better. Do questions make a better world? So asking questions, it is not important to get the answers. Answer is not important based on my thinking. You are going to develop your own thinking. I'm sharing my thoughts and you can counter them. I'm okay with that. So the idea is that can you ask questions, good, intelligent questions. Don't even have to be intelligent, to be honest. Even dumb questions are better than no questions. A question is a question. As a matter of fact, I take my word back of using the word intelligent question. A question is just a question. Yeah. So asking questions. The answers are not going to come right away, but you are asking questions. You ask questions to yourself about yourself. The answers will come. They say that you get what you seek. If you are seeking something, it will come your way. It might take some time, but it will come because you are seeking. So questions. So this is what EY is saying, that questions are the things which can create new products, new service. Think about any product. You can think about any product, any service of your choice. How do you think it was created in the first instance? Someone asked a question. Think about the electricity, the tube lights, the bulbs, all these type of things. Someone must have asked the question in the dark nights that how can I have something which I can use to see things, just like in the day, back in the day when they invented it. Yeah. Think about the phone. The phone. If I call you, we can talk on phone. You are far away from me. I can't even see you or something like that. Yes, but we can talk. So someone asked the question, can voice go across oceans? Is it possible? So at that time, some other people might have said, what a dumb, silly question it is. In that time, when there were no phones, when there were no video cameras, when people could not talk like, we are talking, we are exchanging point of view right now using this technology. But when this technology was not there, someone asked this question, is it possible? What do you think? What people would have said to them? They would have told them they are foolish. They might have told them they are gone mad. It is a possibility. Their family, friends might have disassociated them, have disassociation with them when the things were not invented. Yeah. So when they raise this question, think about that. Same time, right now, people are raising questions, which maybe you and me think that is. Think about the projects which Tesla is working on. The projects about space shuttle and going into space and taking people and space tourism. And many people are laughing. Many people think that Honorable Elon Musk, something is wrong here. Many people think that. You can look it up, Google. And the people who think, they are not ordinary people. They are very smart, intelligent, qualified people. They think that. Yes. But he's just focused, just like our friend who works in the boutique. Our supervisor, whatever supervisor say, she listens, smile, nod, but she is focused on her work. And at the end of the day, she is the best sales person in the boutique, so you can't challenge her after a while. So think about that. Always ask, is there a better way? Always ask, no matter how good the experience is, no matter how good the product is, services. You are going into international trade. You want to be successful in the international market. You don't know how their experience is in the international market. You really want to hone your skill before you go in there. You have to really stand out. And even after that, the international market might reject you just for some reason. Maybe because of your looks, maybe because of your dressing, maybe because of your ethnicity or religion or your accent. Anything can happen in the international market. Consumer choice can change. They will throw you out. Just run some Google search, like products which get failed every quarter. There are some reports, you can look into them. Even around you, why we are going so far? Why we are going so far? When you go in a shop to buy a snack, a biscuit, a candy, a chocolate, when you go on that rank, on that shelf, how many chocolates are there? Not one, not two. There are 10, 20, 30, 40 different chocolates. How many do you pick? One or two or three? You're not going to support all those international businesses, all of that international trade. That is what you pick. What about the rest of the chocolates? Are they bad? Are they not good? They are fine, but you don't like them. What can that business do if you don't like them? They can't do anything about it. You can't make everyone happy in international trade. So you really have to think about your target market. That is what you study in your marketing psychology and those type of things. Your pricing of the product and the target market. You really want to think about that. Yeah. So in that target, in that price, that chocolate bar has to be successful. So please reflect on these type of things. This is an exceptional video. I think you should definitely watch it. Learn to generate good ideas. When you will watch this clip together with our discussion, you will get these ideas. So the point is, don't just limit it to the discussion, and don't do this. Please don't do this course for the sake of course. Please don't do this course like that. You have to just do it for the interest in learning about it. Don't worry about the evaluation and how much marks you will get, and all those things will happen in their own time. You just want to be participant and keep your mind and thinking creatively. Think about the ideas which we don't discuss in class, bring them across and so on. That is what you want to do. And for yourself, you want to find your own comfort zone. So for different people, it will be different. You need to find it for yourself, that how do you get good ideas, personally speaking, and then you want to repeat that. Yeah. So in this video, learn to generate good ideas. You are going to think about that. I have posted some examples which I did not mention in the discussion. This example is there. Uber. This is very interesting TED Talk. Please watch it. You have to watch these, I think, because I'm not with you personally. Otherwise, I play the clips in class also, and we discuss and we talk about that. But we can't do it in this medium. So you need to watch them in your own time and think about. Just reflect on this. Best company is where best idea wins. So if someone asks you what are the characteristics of a best company, a company which becomes best, what is in that company which makes it best? What is in that company which makes it stand out from the rest? What is it? Yeah. So I could have a discussion on that, but never mind. One of the things is that the best company provides a culture where the best idea wins. They don't see who is saying what. It is not who, it is what. It is not the person's face or his accomplishments or his rank or his stature or his experience. Yes, those things are important. But at the end of the day, best company is where best idea wins. It is not that the idea from Saudi Arabia is going to win, or the idea from China or Singapore or Jamaica is going to win, or from Germany it is going to win. No, it is not from that. It is just we're going to analyze that what is the best idea in this time, context, space, and we're going to execute that. This is a wonderful TED talk on that. Please spend some time in watching that. That would be important. So to me, these were the introductory remarks for international trade. This is what we are going to do in our introductory remarks. We have not really started yet. This is just a warming up exercise for all of us. Based on what we have said so far in terms of this discussion and so far, any points, any things which anyone want to communicate? This is a good time for that. Please go ahead if you have something to say.
I just want to ask, what is the best idea for you? Is it the best idea which is making the most money, or which is the most innovative idea? What do you think?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. Beautiful. Thanks very much for that, Benedict. Thanks a million for that. And if you ask me, this is the purpose of meeting online. I do not plan to run PowerPoint slides with you guys and just come and talk and just go on my way, and you are just listening to what I'm saying and you go on your way and the week is over. No, that is not the idea at all. These type of questions we need to raise, and it is not important to get the answers. We want to raise questions and then move in our life in order to find the answers. So please help me answer this question. So I'm posing this question to the participants for discussion. So Benedict, please go ahead and repeat the question, and then people listen it carefully, and then we are going to answer it collectively to the best of our ability. Yes, Benedict, please repeat the question.
So I just want to know, what's the best idea in your opinion? Is it the idea that's bringing the most money, which is very profitable, or is it the idea that's very innovative, but we might not know what we get out of it? Or is there maybe any other perspective we should think about?
Yes, guys, what do you think? What is the best idea? Is the best idea which is going to make you very profitable, rich? Or is it something else? Is it creativity? Is it innovation? Is it passion? Is it dream? Is it fulfillment? Is it satisfaction of the clients, customers? Is it brand? Is it national pride? What is good idea about? Yes, please go ahead.
In my opinion, it depends on the person how he views or she views it, because it could be for a person for passion, it could be for money. So I guess we can't answer this question. It depends on each person. For me personally, I guess it would be the idea that will benefit the people the most and make their lives more convenient, let's say, or more comfortable. And the money is a secondary thing for me.
I think
I would also say that the best problem is probably, the best idea is probably the one that answers kind of a problem or solves the problem. For example, if a customer is not satisfied with a product, and then the best idea would be to kind of solve that problem and enhance it in any way.
For me, it is like a connection of all those points that Benny said. So, for example, if you're passionate about it, and you might be really innovative because you have a deep knowledge about something,
innovative, probably you will get a lot of profit out of it. So I think it is a connection of everything.
I think what makes the best idea depends on what I want to achieve with this idea. So, for example, if I want to achieve, if we talk company-wise, I want to achieve profit, then the best idea is the idea that would save me the most money, for example. Or if I want to achieve that, I want to get a new, very innovative product, then the best idea is probably the most creative one. So it really depends on that.
Also I feel that go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay, I also feel that many good ideas are not even about problems that you have, but about problems that you didn't know you have. Like you don't know things bothering you until somebody comes up with the idea, and then you're like, oh wait, that's actually pretty helpful. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I would also say that.
Sorry.
Okay. So I would say that the best idea is probably the one that, it depends on your company's vision and mission. So if their vision is to make the most sales revenue, then it's probably the idea that generates the most money, but that would be more focused on short-term goals. And then if you want to focus on long-term goals, it would probably be the idea that has the most innovative value.
What I wanted to say is that very important is the question of time. I mean, the idea is really depending on the time you have it. You just mentioned it with selfie sticks. Great idea, but I mean, it's depending on the time. Now it's great, but earlier nobody was really interested in it. And this happens to a lot of ideas, I think. So this is a relevant question we need to keep in mind as well.
And
so I want to add on to Sebastian what he said. He says that time is very relevant for idea, but I think that the acceptance of the people the idea is for is more relevant than time.
Beautiful, beautiful, Bianca. What a lovely thought that, yes, we think about this. We did not mention this term in the last 2 hours. Acceptance of the audience. Yeah. So we did mention it in other ways, but we did not use this term acceptance. Yeah. So your product might not be the best of the product, but the market accept it. You might not be the best of the person, but the other person accepts you. Acceptance for some reason, there are so many things. So acceptance, that is interesting. Another friend mentioned goals, objectives, targets. Exceptionally important in this type of dialogue. One point I particularly liked, I want to highlight that with you guys. One friend mentioned that it should benefit people. People should benefit from that idea. And then he slightly very nicely he mentioned that money will come. Yeah. So money, what type of objective is I want to get rich? What type of objective is that? Many people want to be rich, and nothing is wrong in that. You want to be rich, I want to be rich. No problem is that. But that's very shallow. The money will come, richness will come if it has to come. If it does not has to come, we can't do much about that. What are the problems there which we can solve? What are the difficulties people are having? Once we will solve their problem or the issues or challenges, or even if we make the thing a little better for them, whatever it is, holy.
I would like that you have to give the market segment you want to attract the feeling that they need the product, because in a market with such a big diversity and variety, you somehow have to have something that's different.
Yes, so we are saying that we need to think about that, what will benefit people. We will solve their problem, we will make their life a little bit more comfortable, we will give them another product or another service which is a little bit better than the competition, something on those lines. And the fame and the success and the money, maybe that they are the byproducts and they will just come and so on. Yes, go ahead please. Some people have raised their hands, they want to say something, or that's it.
Yeah, I would say that even though brings well-being to the most of the people is important, but each person can equally get access to that idea is also important, because in the world poverty situation is so severe. So maybe if the new idea can be materialized, and we can use our new idea to help those poor people. Yeah.
Also, as I mentioned before, that the most important thing, in my opinion, is how convenient it is or how comfortable it will be for customers. Is always to put me as an inventor of something, as in situation of people, regarding the price, regarding many other things. What would be more convenient for them? What would be logical, let's say, for them? And based on this, I will decide. So always I should look from two perspectives, not only from my perspective.
Yeah, look at that. Very, very interesting, thought-provoking point that, convenience, making it easier for them. But think about it. If you are in international trade and you have a product or service, and try to link it with the previous discussion we have been having, like you created product, service from your local market, you reached into your town, then you were spread it in your country, then you passed all the hurdles and you went into international market, then one country, two country, three country, and now you are a multinational company in the real sense of the word, and your product is known and all of those things. Even at that time, when you reach that success, always keep on thinking the way our friend just explained it. That don't become like the slave of status quo, complacency. Don't be complacent. Yeah, try to always improve it. Like think about think about products, like think about Apple. Apple is a great company, no doubt about that. Yeah, iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, iPhone 6, iPhone 7, what are they trying to do? So it is not the case that they created iPhone 8 and then they said, that is it, we have reached, this is the end of the world, nothing is going to come after this, we are okay with that. Yeah, no, always going up, always improving. That is, and one of the friends mentioned continuous process in the discussion. If you guys can recall, he said that it's not like overnight, you have to go through it step by step and keep on improving. So think about that. These international successful businesses, they never say that this is the final product. No, they are always trying to make it a little more easier, a little more convenient. So that is the mindset we need to have as a participant in international trade, that no product is at the final stage, you need to keep on improving. But of course, based on our own limitation, based on our goal, based on our purpose and so on, we can decide that if the product has reached at this level, we can decide, well, this is it for me, I'm not going to try to improve it anymore, this is it, and I'm doing fine. I have some clients who buy my product and service, and they will keep on buying it, and I'm not charging a lot also, so this is it for me. So that is fine also. It depends on your goal, purpose, what you want to do. But as we are talking about international trade, in that you will see mostly that businesses which are like that, which are on the path of continuous improvement, which are always thinking that yes, I have this product, it is very nice, but can I make it a little more better? Can I do that? So from that they will keep on doing it, and they will improve over a period of time. You can pick up any product and you will see that. You can think about the old mobile phones and the new mobile phones. Like first we were pressing some digits or something like that. Now some keys or something like that. Now it is touch screen, and these simple things, yeah. But over a period of time, they are just improving. They are simple things now, but 20 years ago, if someone would have said that there will be a time that when mobile phones would have touch screen, there will be a screen which you can just touch and dial, people might say this is a joke. But those companies were thinking, asking questions, trying to identify the loopholes, making the life easier for the consumer, and they reached here. Yes, Julita, you want to say something? You raised your hand.
Yes, I would like to add the unique selling point. Maybe you need to find out what your competitors do not do at the present moment, and reach for the customer's needs, and include that to develop and implement your idea.
Yes, go ahead if someone want to say something.
Yes, I would also say, like, concerning the unique selling point, I think it's also like different. It can vary from country to country because you have to adapt to the culture. So you have to be aware of like cultural differences. For example, McDonald's, they cannot like sell burgers with pork in Muslim countries because they won't eat it. And it's also like with the marketing a lot. So for example, in Saudi Arabia, they won't show women in the catalog. So they have to adapt to the country. And if you don't do it, like there are many failures in history which show that if a company isn't doing it, they'll fail in that market.